So back to this speech now, because President Obama raising a few eyebrows today while addressing a gathering at the UN General Assembly over some comments now that he made about Israel, suggesting too many of its citizens seem prepared to give up on their commitment to peace.
The violence engulfing the region today has made too many Israelis ready to abandon the hard work of peace. Let's be clear. The status quo in the West Bank and Gaza is not sustainable.
Governor Mike Pence is the governor of Indiana, and he is my guest today. Great to have you on the show, Governor. Did you flinch when you heard those comments, or did they just go by and you didn't have a reaction?
Well, I really did. Look, this is a very serious time here in the state of Indiana. We recently announced Indiana Air National Guard's 122nd Fighter Wing will be deploying to CENTCOM in the region in the coming weeks, but the importance of our allies in the region has never been greater than it is today, and it really was disappointing to see the President use the platform of the United Nations today to essentially call out our most cherished ally in the region. As you know, Gretchen, I was the ranking member of the Middle East Subcommittee. I've been in and out of the region many times before I became governor of the state of Indiana. We have no more important ally. We have no greater ally in the region than Israel. And as we're trying to bring other countries into this coalition to beat down ISIS and this new organization, Khorasan, in northern Iraq and in Syria, I think it's vitally important that the world knows that America stands with our allies, including our most cherished ally, Israel.
So what did you make of the rest of the speech and quite frankly, his tact, the president's tact and strategy, now that there is one, against ISIS?
Well, I said before this speech at a national convention here in Indianapolis that I thought it was important that the United States provide strong and clear leadership. And, you know, beginning this last Monday night, I believe we're taking decisive action, and we're supportive of that. Obviously, we're behind our troops, our commander-in-chief. This coordinated effort is vitally important. There's always reason to look back and learn the lessons of the past. But right now, the fight is in front of us. It's important that we provide our military personnel in the region with the resources that they need to get the job done. This is a very real threat, not only to the stability of the region, but to the security of our country. That's why here in Indiana today, our Department of Homeland Security relaunched our See Something, Say Something campaign.
I see
Gretchen. That. I think every American would do well to revisit the lessons that we learned in the 9/11 Commission in the days when we looked back. There were many people around this country that saw suspicious activities leading up to September 11th and simply, for whatever reason, didn't report those. Now is the time, now that hostilities have been initiated in northern Iraq and in Syria, and we know the potential of individuals holding American passports to come back into our country after being radicalized in ISIS. Now is the time that every American, if you see something, say something, report it to law enforcement all across this country.
All right, so I have to tell you, Governor, that you sound, you're speaking about foreign affairs issues and homeland issues. It sounds very presidential. Are you ready to make any kind of an announcement about running?
Well, you know, I hope it sounds American. You know, in my 12 years in the Congress, I had the privilege of serving on the Foreign Affairs Committee for 10 of those years. I visited troops downrange in Iraq and Afghanistan every year for the entire decade that I served on that committee. And I've been to Mosul, I've been to Baghdad, I've been to Kurdistan. I know in my heart of hearts the depth of the tragedy that we're witnessing on television screens. It's absolutely important that we act. I think it's important for leaders at every level in our country to speak clearly and forcefully now. America needs to lead from the front. We need to stand with our allies, beginning with Israel in the region, and we need to do everything necessary to defeat ISIS and defeat this real threat to our country.
I hear you. Governor Pence, great to have you on the show. Governor of Indiana. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.